her what this is because you always do videos for it.
It's so complicated too.
No, it's not that complicated. Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry we're a couple minutes late. I was having Cassidy explain to me what SPFBO
Yes.
is and her videos because she does a bunch of them. So apologies that we're 2 minutes late. But hello, I have Cassidy from Coverage with Cassidy with me, which I'm so excited about. Do you want to tell us what you're reading today?
I was like, don't make me introduce my channel, Tori. Don't make me do
No.
it. But I can talk about what I'm
Let's
reading.
talk about your book.
I'm currently reading The Curse of Saints by Kate Dramas. I never know how to say things.
Oh.
This is like the perfect time to be on your channel because I'm actually working on like a romantasy vlog, and I was like, this is like meant to be because I'm reading romantasy. So
How are you liking that book?
I'm not far in. I'm only 3 chapters in, but like so far, really liking it. Like the writing seems pretty strong, which is always a plus.
A good sign, yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so curious to hear like your final review on that one because that one's been on my radar and I saw it at Barnes and Noble recently and I almost got it and then I went with something else.
I almost get.
The almost get, yeah. I am halfway through Warbreaker. I'm finally reading this. I feel like I've talked about it a million bajillion times on my channel, and literally everyone and their mother has been like, Tori, you need to read this book. So it's my first Brandon Sanderson. I'm actually obsessed with it. And I'm upset at myself why it took me so long, number one, to pick up this book, and number two, why I was so scared of it, because it's actually so approachable and the characters are so good. So I'm very excited to continue reading this today.
I'm very happy you're now in the world of Sanderson because he is very approachable and has very lovable characters. Although I hated Warbreaker, but I'm glad you're loving it.
It's so funny. You and I feel like we read a lot of the same books, but we tend to have very differing opinions.
Yes. But I'm here for it.
That's fine.
Like, what did Tori give this book I'm about to read?
I do have Tress of the Emerald Sea as well, and I was gonna read that as my first Brandy Sandy, but everyone was like, that's not a great one to intro to his world with. But I saw it's on the Goodreads Choice Awards, so I'm gonna try to get to it in December anyways, and it just is what it is.
I haven't read Tress. I'm a Mistborn fan, so I vote Mistborn.
Yeah, I have to read. Yeah, I'm gonna read like all of his work because now I'm like, okay, now that I'm intro to his writing and he's much less scary, like the only scary thing is the size of the books, but that's fine. So yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, he's a lot more accessible than I think people think. Because
yeah,
people make him sound scarier than he is.
I was expecting something with a more serious like tone in Warbreaker, and I'm sure that some of his books aren't like Warbreaker, where this book has a lot of levity to it. Like it's actually kind of like fun and funny and like quippy between the characters, and that is not what I was expecting at all.
Yes.
So that's good. Hello everyone. Hi Tina. Finally started reading Iron Flame. Less than 50 pages in and already tearing up and also smiling, giggling. I'm scared.
Have you read it yet?
No, I haven't read it. I'm going to read it in December. I needed the hype to die down a little bit because I felt so much pressure.
This is fair.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to read it before the spoilers come out.
I feel like I've been like shielding my eyes, trying to put blinders on whenever I see anything that's Iron Flame related. I'm just like, skip over. I'm not looking at it because I'm terrified.
I'm excited for you to read it.
Hello. I have 30 minutes left of Dead Silence. It's good. I did read that one. How are you liking it? I know you said it's good. I found it a little bit slow to get into, but how is the ending? Hi bestie. I'll be reading Serpent in the Wings of Night, currently 300 pages in. Oh my gosh. I love that for you. Hello, happy to join another readings friend. Thanks for coming back and hanging out with us. Hello, friends. Oh my gosh, everyone who's reading Iron Flame, please don't say a lot about it because I'm terrified and I don't want to get spoiled. Just a solid 23 hours left of the audiobook. The formatting of Iron Flame in the physical copy makes me want to just read it on my Kindle instead because it's such tiny font with 0 margins. And I'm like, I feel like I want a little bit bigger font on this.
Yeah.
Also saw it at BNN and like
this.
Yeah. And you thought it was indie. Yeah, I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it, but the synopsis sounds very, very interesting.
Yeah, there's like a decent amount of world building within the first 2 chapters, but not like info dumping,
Good.
which is always like good that you can pull that off.
Yeah, for sure. Just finished an education in Malice arc, so now I'm staring at the wall trying not to fall into a book hangover. Oh my gosh. Read a different genre. That would be my suggestion for a book hangover. Like, just read something completely different from what you just read. Hi, Ashley. Hello. Mistborn is a great next place for standout. Okay. I like Tress pretty well too, but very Princess Bride-esque. That's what I heard, and I do love Princess Bride, so I was like, maybe this is a good one for me.
I think you like it. I haven't even read it. For some reason, I just feel like that screams Tori to me.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I want to, like, I think it's going to move forward in the Goodreads Choice Awards. Like, it'll at least be like a top 10. So yeah. I do want to read it to be able to be an educated voter, at least. Hi, Nicola. I'm going to be reading Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I'm desperate to get to Once Upon a Broken Heart. I love that for you. Both of them have a special place in my heart. Hello, hoping to make some progress on my physical book. Someday maybe, because I haven't picked it up in a week. That's fair. We can do that today for sure, because we're going to be reading the books. Hey, I'm reading Bad Blood by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. After finishing Iron Flame, taking a mini break from fantasy since the ones I started are falling flat. I'm terrified to read Iron Flame because my entire December TBR is fantasy. And if Iron Flame puts me in a fantasy slump like Fourth Wing did, my reading is going to go down the trash.
Yeah. Fourth Wing put me in a fantasy slump, but Iron Flame did the opposite, and I am now reading like romantasy exclusively right now because I was like, I want this again. Like I want these feelings again.
Oh my gosh, love. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better because the one piece of feedback that I've heard is like about Xaden and like their dynamic in that book, and so that's what really scared me. Hello, I'll be continuing my read of Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and it's a 5-star. I haven't had a book that I know is a 5-star this fast in a long time. Love that for you. I still haven't read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I don't think I will, because it's like, I just don't know if it's for me. I don't know.
I've only read Daisy.
Yeah.
And I was not a Daisy Jones fan, so I will not be continuing. But I'm not a historical person. I don't like historical fiction in any way.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, my historical fictions tend to be like Fae Regency era romantasy. Yeah. Like that is what I'll do. Or like a Divine Rivals. I feel like that was an interesting mix between historical fiction.
I haven't read that one yet. I'm so scared of it. I want to read it, but I'm so scared of it.
Oh my gosh. It has one of the best like rivals to lovers. Like the banter. It's so good.
You know how to get me the word banter, and I'm in.
The rivals is so funny. She's like, they work at a newspaper together, and she's like messing up his desk to see if he'll notice. And he obviously notices. It's so funny.
Mood.
Hello, I'm at work, but I hope I will read some when I finish. Thank you for hopping on just to say hi. I really appreciate that. Just finished God Killer and can't decide between One Dark Window or Curse for True Love. My opinion, you can't go wrong with either. Very different vibes though. I would say go with One Dark Window unless you're ready for like a finale book. Also, what did you think of God Killer? Because I have that on my TBR for this month, and I have to get to it. Cassidy, have you read that? God Killer?
I have not.
Hello, I have so much laundry to do. I'm reading Agatha Christie. You can't go wrong with Agatha when you're doing laundry. Reading Monster Pucker by Ashley Bennett and Cleo Evans. That either sounds like a very dirty title or a hockey romance.
Maybe it's a monster hockey romance.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's it. Currently baking, so you're keeping me company. What are you baking? Yesterday, so I'm trying to be ambitious and bake bread for the first time. I'm doing like a trial run because one of our like appetizers for Thanksgiving is going to be just like fresh bread with oil. Like I have infused olive oil and I'm going to put spices and herbs and stuff in it. And then we're going to have a charcuterie board as well. So last night I'm like rising my dough right now. It's been resting and it has to rest for 24 hours. I'm like, go off, queen. Literally same. So I'm going to bake it later tonight and fingers crossed it goes well.
I'm just excited for your like the smell of bread baking is to die for in your house. Like they need to make that into a candle or something because it's
100%.
so good. So your house is gonna just smell so good.
100%. I'm so excited. Haven't read Warbreaker, but I read The Final Empire last month in the first book by Sanderson, and I was scared I wouldn't like it, but I loved it. Warbreaker is a book for me that I think is going to be a 5-star. And do you ever just read a book and it's so good that you're like, I feel like this as a 5-star, I need to reevaluate a lot of the other books that I've given 5 stars recently. Like that's what this book is doing for me.
Yep, I know that feeling.
You're like, what was I thinking? This is the 5-star standard, and then I need to reevaluate.
Yep.
Not very scary, but also not bad. I think the way the story was told could be better. I think this is about the space
Dead
book.
Silence.
Dead Silence, yeah. I agree. Like I went into it thinking it was going to be pretty scary, and I'm not usually like a sci-fi horror person. But the spaceships and that whole like element to it I did think was creepy. I also get very scared of like claustrophobic situations. So like reading a book like The Depths also had that claustrophobic factor, and I feel like space books have that too, which can be quite scary. But it was just so slow in the beginning. I was like 50% through and I was like, when's the scary?
I agree.
That's what I'm here for.
That was a mediocre book. It was like okay, but like not incredible.
Yeah. Speaking of scary, I haven't read The September House yet, but I do really want to. I've heard good things about it.
I liked it, but it's not scary. But I liked it. It's like quirky.
Is it like a little bit gory? I think that's what I heard.
There is some gore in it, but like definitely the tone of it is more like quirky. I don't know. Have you read Grady Hendrix?
Mm-hmm.
Like more like a comedy horror style. Kind of reminds me of Grady.
Oh, I kind of love that.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Hello, reading an arc that will be out on November 23rd. The Ghosts of Beatrice Bird. I haven't heard of that one. Oh my gosh, The Wicked King, the ending. I want to see planning. I'm very curious to see what you'll think of Queen of Nothing, because people either absolutely love it or they hate it and it's the worst book for them, which is so sad. But I really liked all of the Cruel Prince books. Or the Elfhame books. Just got up. Good morning. Stayed up too late trying to finish a quilt top for a Christmas gift. Probably listening to Glass Sword. Blanket making in the winter is vibes.
Yes. When are you giving your nephew the blanket? I need a reaction. I need to know like how much he loved it.
Oh, well, I'm mailing it to him because they live on the East Coast. And we aren't going to go back we're going back just after the holidays. We're going back to Massachusetts January 7th, like the week of January 7th. But I'll try to get like a video of him using it.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me how much he loves it because it looks so good.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to so it was funny. I was talking to my dad when he was visiting a couple weeks ago, and I told him that was what I was going to make for Adam, my nephew. And he was like, I want one. And I was like, okay. But the difference between a baby blanket and like a big person blanket, I'm like, okay, it's going to take me a while, Dad. But yes, I can definitely do that. We will start our first sprint in about a minute, a little bit less than a minute, if that's okay. Because we're about 15 minutes in, so we'll get some reading done and stop chit-chatting.
I'm a chatter, so you have to shut me up.
I'm a chatter too, yeah. So I'm like, okay, it's been almost 15 minutes. We will start our first sprint soon. Started Iron Flame, but the book is big and definitely intimidates me. I need to read it on my Kindle. Yeah, that's fair. You read books faster on your Kindle. It's like actually scientifically proven, so I think that's a great idea. I'm going to continue The Broken Kingdoms, but not sure. If you have other options, let us know. Maybe we can help you decide quickly. Reading Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. It is chunky, but I'm very curious to read that book. I've never read any Cassandra Clare, but I think adult fantasy will hit a little bit better for me than her YAs. So I'm interested. You have to read Divine. Yeah, you do have to read Divine Rivals.
I'm scared of it.
I was sobbing at the end of it, and I'm not usually like a big crier. I guess I have been recently, actually, with a lot of books, but Divine Rivals has a cliffy ending, and it's scary.
No, I'm a crier. I'll bawl my eyes out.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, let me get our sprint popped up here. I think for first sprint, we'll do about 35 minutes if that's okay with everybody.
Also, the Monster Pucker is a monster hockey romance.
That's amazing. I've never heard of that before, but I love
Incredible.
All right, so I have a very cozy ambient room. It just has like snowfall in the background and like fire crackles, so hopefully that's okay. And we'll probably have time for about 3 sprints. So happy reading, everybody. Welcome back. How'd everyone do? Cassidy, how'd you do?
I made myself a coffee.
Love.
Open packages. And like, look at how cute this new Christmas sweater that I got is. It says Season's Greetings from Radiator Springs.
Oh my gosh, love that.
And I read about 20 pages.
I love that so much. That sounds like such a fun sprint.
Yeah, I love opening packages. So I was very much like a kid on Christmas.
I love that. I read about 30 pages, which is pretty good. And I'm ready for things to start happening. This book is in the middle. It kind of slows down a little bit, and I'm like, give me something that happens.
I'll be excited to see your thoughts at the end because I also feel like it lulls quite a bit.
Okay. It's interesting. Everyone's told me that this is a standalone, but when I looked on Goodreads recently, there is like a number 2 book.
Both of his standalone books have been always standalones that, like, he's so organized. They're standalones for now, but, like, he knows what he's writing for sequels in the future.
Interesting. Yeah, because it changed to Warbreaker 1, and then there was a number 2, so.
At the end of the year, he does, like, a year of Sanderson every single year, and he tells you, like, what projects to expect, when, and, like, where, and, like, what he's working on. So he's, like, very organized. So we've known for a long time there was sequels coming, but like, what does a sequel mean as Sanderson? Who knows? Because he's done like sequels that are like thousands of years in the future. So.
Yeah. Interesting. We love an organized king.
Yes.
I also meant to ask you because I saw in a vlog recently that you were debating starting to play Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes.
Have you started to play?
I did start playing, and I'm not a Zelda girly.
I your favorite?
Forgot because like I played Zelda when I was younger. And obviously Tears of the Kingdom is like blowing up. I feel like it's like the best game of the year.
Yeah.
I just like get so frustrated wandering because I'm not good at like figuring out what I'm supposed to be doing. So there's a lot of Googling that I do to like figure out where I'm going and what I'm doing. So I just get like so lost. I'm like, I've been lost for like 20 minutes.
100%.
I don't know where I'm going, what to do.
That's so valid.
How often that happens.
It's so valid. I like one of my biggest critiques because I'm currently replaying Breath of the Wild is that like when you have a new quest or like you get a new quest from someone, the quest marker is on the person who gave you the quest and it's not like where you need to go. Like, why is this helpful? It's literally not.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like just started. I'm not far in. I just did the 3 shrines. And I have to go back to like the temple. And I'm gonna play it because like I like it enough, but I just get so frustrated being like, what am I supposed to be doing? I'm not good. And my boyfriend was making fun of me because he like loves like he's a video game player and he's like, you obviously just didn't read something if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. I'm like, I read it. I just don't compute.
Yeah, they make it super vague so that like it's like everything is a puzzle in Zelda, which is fun to some extent, but when it's a quest, it's like, okay, but just tell me where to go and then I will go there and I'll do the thing. Like I don't want like where I need to go to be a puzzle.
Yes, you know? It's the journeying back and forth that I'm like, I don't want to be lost on the map. Just give me a pointer and I'll go.
Especially because traveling takes forever to get anywhere because like the map is so big and you can only run for so long.
Yes. I know, like the dash, I'm like, this is such a sad dash.
Yeah.
For like 5 seconds.
I recently saw Erin from Booked and Busy. She was playing, I think it was Tears of the Kingdom because it looked like more updated than Breath of the Wild. And I'm like, I love that all the book girlies are just playing Zelda now. It's so funny.
Yes. I'm trying to get better at like using my Switch because like I do enjoy it, but like I prioritize other things over it most of the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not good. Actually, Zelda's been okay because I'm wandering so much, but normally I'm not pretty good at like listening to an audiobook and playing. I get very distracted by playing, but for some reason Zelda's been working. So I'm trying to prioritize it a little bit more.
Audiobooks with like mindless games are a lot easier, but a game like Zelda where there is kind of like a plot structure to it and there's certain scenes that you have to pay attention to, like that can be difficult to like play and like listen to an audiobook, for example.
Yeah. So now I just try and only play the audiobook when I'm wandering, trying to find places. Like I'm just like going in circles half the time. Like I've already been here.
Yeah, that's so fair. I just had to ask about it because I saw you reading that, playing it recently or talking about it recently, and I was like, I need to ask. Okay, I will catch up with chat now. Sorry for divulging into video games. Let's see where we left off. I think we are here. Good morning. I'm off in my own world, finishing my reread of all the Twilight books. I love that. And I'm halfway through Breaking Dawn. It's such a good time for me. I feel like a lot of people have decided to reread Twilight in the past year, which is a vibe.
I should reread Twilight. I haven't read it in so long.
Took me a while to get into Godkiller, but I'm glad I stuck with it. It surprised me how good it was. Okay, that's good to know. My friend Serena read it recently, and she said I would like it because it gives Witcher vibes. And I love Witcher. I need to keep reading Witcher, actually. Monster Fucker is a MMM monster romance.
I love this.
I need to oh, MMF, sorry. Yeah, I need to look into more of that. That's so funny. Baking bread candle. Cassidy's actually going to make that for us, she said.
I'll figure it out. Candles with Cassidy.
Yeah. September House is great so far. I know a lot of people have really liked it. I love a humorous horror book. I think that those are so funny. Good morning. I'll be reading Love Resigned. Love that. Made a huge tie blanket a few weeks ago. It was so fun. I used to make, I have a couple tie blankets, and I've made them that's actually what I made for my dad and my stepmom, I think like 2 years ago for Christmas. But I recently learned how to make, they're kind of like hand crocheted blankets. I did it in my most recent vlog. You use like really chunky, super fuzzy yarn, and it's such big yarn that you just like tie it and you basically like make loops with your hands. And they're so much fun to make. They only take a couple hours, and they look like so nice, and they're so warm and fuzzy. So we are blanket making queens.
I love blanket making.
It's just so cozy, and it's so fun, and you can listen to your audiobook and just have a great time.
Yeah, that's such an easy audiobook task to do.
Welcome, Princess Luna Nightshade. I love your name. It sounds like a fantasy character name.
It does.
I bought Fourth Wing because of you guys. I wanted to save it to start off 2024, but I don't know if I can wait that long. That's fair. Have it be like your last book of the year, because that would also be very stunning.
That would be a great last book of the year.
And then you can start next year with Iron Flame.
I love that.
Good ideas. Hi, friends. Between books at the moment, trying to decide what to read. If you have options, let us know. Hello. Oh my gosh. Cute crew. Yeah, we are the cute crew. 44% into September House, and now I need more coffee. That is fair. I might need to make another one because I'm almost halfway done. I was just like chugging coffee listening to Warbreaker.
That's a mood.
24%, it's already smutty. I would imagine that it would get smutty quite quickly. 40 pages of Broken Kingdoms, and I kind of love it.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either, actually. Chapter 18 of Carbon, I'm loving it so far.
N.K. Jemisin, no?
Oh, okay.
Wait, there's two. L.J. Andrews, but I think it's the N.K. Jemisin that she's reading, I'm guessing, because that's the bigger one.
Yeah.
Book 2 of the Inheritance trilogy.
47 pages, that was a good sprint for you. Just started the Fence graphic novel series. I've seen that, but I haven't read it myself. Good evening. I have 100 pages left in Iron Flame. That sounds very stressful. Prayers to you, friend.
Have you gotten your food yet?
Yes, I have my bagel. I was eating it. I turned my camera off because I was eating my bagel.
That's fair.
Yeah, I got a sourdough bagel with scallion and cream cheese, and it's
Oh,
delicious.
that sounds so good.
Yours is on the way. I told Rob.
Thanks, yeah.
I shipped it to Canada for you.
I'll see it in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Ate breakfast, fed horses, and my husband decided we were cleaning the whole house today. That actually sounds like such a vibe. Also, you need to tell us what your horses' names are and what colors they are. So I said, good luck. I'll be folding laundry and doing dishes. Love that. Made another 3% through. Unrelated. Are you guys mutual pining people? I just read one that gave me the ick, and I'm so torn about whether to avoid it if I can. Cass, what do you think?
I think it really depends on the book for me. Like, I feel like in like Blood Grace by Villa Roth, they're mutual pining and I love it. But most of the time I'm more of a banter person. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, I do like banter, but also like when characters are bantery, there's some like spark between the characters that like makes it really fun. But I don't love when if it's like a multi POV, for example, if in both POVs they're like, oh my gosh, I want him so bad, or I want her so bad. And then
Yes.
it's just like, well, okay, like what's stopping you? Like that's kind of
Yes.
annoying. So I do agree. Like it definitely depends on the book, and sometimes they can be kind of gross.
100%. My secondhand embarrassment gets real sometimes.
Yeah, you're like, please just knock it off. Just kiss her.
Literally.
Just make out already. Oh my gosh, 3 books that you're deciding between. That's why I disliked those games, because I got lost and it made me feel dumb and I can't figure it out. Yeah, that's very fair.
I was playing yesterday and I just had like on my phone, literally a walkthrough open for whenever I got frustrated because I was like, I'm too dumb for this.
Yeah, 100%. I do like the puzzle parts of Zelda, like especially the shrines. Usually my first step is like, oh, I'm just gonna go around to all the shrines and then I'll increase my like hearts and my stamina, and then that's fun. And then I'll try to just like do the main quest line, because the main quest usually tells you exactly where to go, and I'm like, perfect. That's what we love.
Yeah, I liked like when I got into the shrines, like doing those puzzles, but it's just like I'm like, where am I supposed to be going? Like I've walked around this map for 20 minutes. Someone just tell me exactly where I'm supposed to be going and how to get there.
Yeah. In Breath of the Wild, they have like once you do a couple of the main quest points, you get like a sensor on your in Breath of the Wild, it's like a Sheikah slate. I know you have the arm in Tears of the Kingdom. So sorry about spoilers if no one has played Zelda. I will stop talking momentarily. But you probably have no idea what I'm saying. You have like a sensor in your device that like beeps when you get close to a shrine. I don't know if they have similar Tears of the Kingdom.
There is like, you're supposed to pin them on the map, but I found it not very helpful because the map right now is just like all over. Like there's only certain ways you can cross the map.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's fair.
A beep would be good.
Yeah, exactly. But it's helpful because you're like, okay, I know that one is close by, and then like depending on what direction you go, the beeps get stronger. It's kind of like
it's like hot and cold.
Yeah, it's like hot and cold. So maybe they have something like that.
Maybe it'll come and I'm just not far enough in yet.
I've watched some gameplay, like one of my favorite Twitch streamers, Luxy Games, was playing it, but she was, to be fair, like she was like, this is not a plot gameplay. This is just me running around having a good time in my slutty skirt, because like he has like a cute little skirt and a ponytail at the beginning. But she does do some of the stuff, and so I'm trying to think if there was like a shrine sensor, but I don't remember. I'll DM you later.
Yeah.
Didn't read, but walked my dogs. It's so nice out. Made a coffee, started brainstorming my reading plans for the next year. 24 to read in 2024. I'm making my 12 rec from 12 friends template. That is a very productive sprint. I'm kind of stressed about making my 24 for 2024.
I'm trying not to think about things I have to read next year still. Like, we can just pretend that those don't exist yet. Those lists.
Exactly. There's so many like big releases next year that yesterday I was filming a winter book recommendation, like a fantasy book recommendation video, and I had to bring up Empire of the Vampire because the next book is getting released, I think, early next year, and I'm so excited for it.
I still haven't read it.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. I think you'd really like that. I think you'd like it, but take that with a grain of salt because books that I love, you tend to be like, this was so mid.
That's the thing, is I felt very mid about Nevernight, and so I'm like, am I gonna feel the same? It's so long and it's so well loved, and I'm so scared.
Well, to be fair, I DNF'd Nevernight twice, and I'm gonna try to read it again. But I read Empire of the Vampire like no problem.
This is good to know.
It's very different.
I own it. Like, I want to read it. I'm just so scared of it. It's like one of those books I just like keep putting off, and eventually I'm gonna make myself read it, but I'm just scared of it.
Yeah. I think you'll like it. I liked it because vampires are usually so romanticized in like every single book, and in
Mhm.
Empire of the Vampire, the vampires are actually like horrific
Oh.
monsters that have brought a society to complete ruin, and like obviously they don't care about it. They're like, perfect, now it's vampire world, and you're just like, oh gosh, what's going on?
I am a vampire. I love reading about vampires too. So like I'm like excited to read it. I'm just so scared.
Yeah, I would say like if you're scared about it because of Nevernight, they're quite different.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Hi, Alva. Just joining. I'll either be picking up two Twin Crowns or Spells for Forgetting. Both absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Cult of the Lamb.
It's
I
my
don't know this
favorite.
game.
It's my favorite. I love Cult of the Lamb. You essentially are a lamb that gets possessed, and you're starting your own cult, and you're taking down. It's essentially Christianity, but um,
Oh my gosh,
you can like.
like cover of this game is so
It's
funny.
so cozy and cute looking. Like it looks like a cozy game in art, and then like you're sacrificing your followers to get like more power. Like you're killing people. Like it is so gory, but it's
That's
such a
so
cute
funny.
graphic style. I like it because it
It-
has, like, a
yeah.
good amount of, like there is, like, farm sim in it, like, you do have to, like, feed your followers and stuff, but there is still, like, a quest and, like, fighting that you have to do also, so I think it has, like, a good balance between the 2 styles of games.
Oh my gosh, that's so stunning. I am going to get this like immediately.
It's so good in my opinion.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Same with Zelda when I was very little. It was the first game I played from start to finish. I put the newer games for Switch on my Christmas list along with some Resident Evil games. Love that.
Enjoy.
Yeah, God Killer is an all-time new fave. Can't wait for the second one. Yeah, you're the one, Serena, that I'm like, okay, I need to read this in November and it's gonna be good. Oh no, woke up late again. LOL, I stayed up way too late last night because my brain would not shut up. I hate that. Those are the worst nights when you're like, all I want to do is go to sleep, but I can't turn my brain off. But here now gonna get some coffee and then I'm gonna be ready to sprint. Love that. We need to start our second sprint because I just realized we've been talking for way too long. Y'all, please shut me up sometimes. Like I can't help myself.
Don't ask me to come on sprints because I just chat.
I love it. But at the same time, let's get some reading time. Okay, we will do our second. We'll do another 35 minutes. Happy reads, everybody. Sorry, it always takes me a minute to stop the ambient room before I come off mute.
Oh, good.
Welcome back. How'd you do?
I did not read. My sister called because we're going to finally go see the Eras concert movie tonight, and so we're planning where we're gonna go eat and stuff later.
Fun.
So we chatted instead of reading.
That's okay. Oh my gosh. My friend Sarah went to go see the Eras tour movie, and she was like, everyone in the theater was just like singing and dancing, and it was so fun.
Yeah, that's why I've been waiting, because I'm like, I don't need to go with like a packed room full of everyone doing it. So I think that there's just like 3 other people in the theater tonight, so it'll be fun. So like
Nice.
it's empty, and I feel like that's more my vibe. I'm like, I don't need to be surrounded by a lot of people standing up singing. Just like a few of us is good.
Yeah, it'll be more chill, which is good. Also, can you please tell us all about the Jonas Brothers concert so that we can live vicariously through you?
It was so good. Joe Jonas is so hot. I was like telling my boyfriend, I was like, I fell in love. Like I was gonna leave you for him. And he was like, wow, sounds good. But I was like, yeah, like you're gonna officiate our wedding. Like,
Oh my gosh, I was dying at your story when you were like, Nick is now wearing a backwards baseball cap. Maybe I'm a Nick girly.
oh my god. With a backwards hat. He's so hot too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put some clips of it in my vlog that's coming up, so you guys can all see Joe Jonas look very hot. All of my videos are of Joe, though.
Perfect.
Except for I did catch Red Dress. Nick singing Red Dress, and he sang it like literally like pretty close to like they were staring at me. Like he was singing to me.
He was singing to you.
Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh, absolutely love. I did read. There were some shocking things that happened in my section, so my face was probably crazy. I was literally like, at one point, I was like, oh my god, that's so crazy. So I think I read close to 30 pages, maybe like 27 or 28. Oh my god, the plot just happened. Let us know how you did. My 10-year-old keeps wanting to learn how to crochet. I should find some finger crochet YouTube tutorials. I was literally watching TikToks of people making these chunky knit blankets, and I was like, I think I could do that. And I learned from TikToks because people just like do it slowly. It's really, really easy, especially like obviously like crochet needles for a 10-year-old might be a little bit like sharp or whatever, but you can crochet things with your hands, and it's really, really fun.
Yeah, and I feel like then you would learn very easily. Like it looks like when I watched you do it, it's pretty much like literally the same method as crocheting. I just have a hook instead of like to do it. So I feel like that would be a good like stepping stone to learn.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to start Wickwire Watch and the Woodkin today. I don't know what that is. And then try to completely read Cold West. Keep me in your thoughts. Are those like really emotional?
Wickwire and Cold West are SBFBO finalists, and Cold West is not getting the best reviews from people. So.
Oh, okay. Prayers to you, friend. Reading Legend by Karina. I never know if it's Hall or Holly. Hall. I don't know. Totally smelled Batman. Brandy is chestnut and fits all of the crabby chestnut mirror memes. Oh my gosh, she'll be 20 next spring and is mostly retired from arthritis. And the other is Kit, who is bae.
Aw.
That's so cute. So excited for Empire of the Damned. 100%. I think that's the name of Empire of the Vampire book 2.
Yeah, it is.
I can't wait. I'm scared because I cried so much during Empire of the Vampire, but it's gonna be fine. Everything's fine.
If you cried, I'm gonna cry.
It's so emosh. It's very, very emosh.
I'm such a crier. I watch The Voice, and my parents make fun of me because I cry when people go home all of the time. I'm like, this is so sad that they're going home, and I'll just start crying. And they're like, why are you crying?
I can't, like, singing shows specifically, like, those actually do make me cry. I'm like a movie and
dreams being crushed.
Yeah. Even just people's voices, though, like, brings me to tears sometimes.
Yes.
Like, the performance, and I'm like, I'm such a big baby. But then with books, I'm usually not as much of a crier. Like, it takes a lot in a book to make me cry, but, like, put on a Disney movie, I'm going to cry.
I bawl my eyes out in the first 5 minutes of Finding Nemo. I can't watch Finding Nemo.
I can't watch Up. I literally bawl my eyes out in the first like 10 minutes of Up.
Yeah, it's so sad.
It's so sad.
Honestly, most Disney movies are very sad.
Ross will never let me live down. We watched The Iron Giant together like 2 years ago, and I forgot how it ended because it's been like so long since I had watched it. And so I'm not even joking. Halfway through the movie, I was hyperventilating, sobbing, and he looks over at me and he's like, "What is your problem?" And I was like, "I don't remember how it ends. Does he make it?" Like, I was not okay. And he dies laughing every time we talk about that movie because he was like, I've never seen someone react.
They're supposed to be these like happy, lovely Disney movies, but they're really sad and depressing.
Yeah, 100%. But give me like a sad, depressing book, and I'll be like, okay,
Yeah, just
light work, no reaction.
move on.
Oh my gosh. One of my goals this year was to finish series that I've started. Good goal, and I've been doing so good. I'm set to finish 6 series this month. I finished 16 series so far this year. That is incredible. Oh my gosh. I'm in the middle of so many series. I'm trying to finish the Witcher series by the end of this year. I only have 2 books left in like the actual like main books. And yeah, it is a long one. What book am I on? I think I'm on the 5th book. And then I only have one more book that's part of the main series. And then there is one more that's like a short story collection, but it's like after the main story has taken place. So technically I have 3 books left, but I'm going to say 2 and I've finished the series and then a bonus book, you know? Yes, you do have to read Empire of the Vampire. Yeah, I feel like Nevernight is having a resurgence lately.
I think it's because Empire of the Vampire did good, so then people are picking up Nevernight that haven't read it when they were younger. Yeah,
I think with Nevernight, I need to get audiobooks because what was really throwing me off was all of the footnotes.
I skipped them. I'm not gonna lie. I hated them.
When I first of all, I didn't understand. It was like a little kitty cat just like entering into the story, and I was like, what is happening here? And then I was like, this is so disorienting having to stop where I'm reading to read like a footnote for context. But I've heard with the audiobook, it does that for you. And so it's much easier to just not have to deal with that nonsense.
And some of the footnotes are like a page and a half long. Like some are so long, and I'm like, I don't even remember what was happening in the story after reading this footnote. So I eventually ended up just skipping them because I don't think that they added anything to the story.
Yeah, and I was trying to read it on my Kindle, which was worse because all of the footnotes are at like the end of the chapter. So it's like, how am I even supposed to read this?
Yeah, a footnote on a Kindle does not work in my opinion. They do not format properly. You just have to put them like, if I were to do it and make a book with footnotes, I would just literally not make it a footnote in a Kindle and just put it like right there in like parentheses or something.
100%. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I was reading Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, also didn't read the footnotes.
I read one on my Kindle, and like you had to like click the footnote and then it would jump to the end of the book, but then like it didn't automatically jump back, so then you have to like go back and find your spot, and I was like, I'm not clicking on these, like this is stupid.
It's so dumb. Yeah, it's so dumb. Nevernight was definitely hard to get through, but the 2nd and 3rd book are so much easier. Not as many footnotes in those. Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, just skipped it. Yeah, that makes sense. Fair. Very fair. 20 pages into the Wickwire Watch and started some laundry. Love that. 11%. 50 pages. Switch over to my ebook so I could eat and read 18%. Love that. I don't want to go see the movie until I attend the concert. That's fair.
I've given up. I don't think she's coming here, so.
25% mark of Iron Flame, no spoilers, but I don't know what that. Oh, map? Is that a map? This is where I'm at for those who have read it.
It is a map, and I've read it, and I'm trying to figure out where you're at, and I'm like, what?
Okay, we love a riddle, Christy. Finally home so I can read. Yay, I hope that work was good. I have to log into work in like an hour, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, I work every Sunday.
I was going to say, do you normally work Sundays?
Yeah, I have a weird work schedule. I work with like Asia Pacific markets. I work with Australia and South Korea. And so because they're a day ahead, I work Sunday through Thursday, and I have Fridays and Saturdays off.
I mean, that's not that bad then.
No, it's not bad. But working Sundays, you're kind of like, this is annoying because everyone else has the day off. So we'll try to squeeze in. We'll do our last sprint in like just a couple minutes so that we can do one last one. 50 pages of Lord of Misrule by Rachel Kane. The Morgansville Vampires, book 5. Trying to binge read as many as I can in November. Yeah, that's fair. I saw you do that blanket. I want to make one for my 1-year-old son, Oliver. He would love it. They're so easy. Like, seriously. And the yarn was on sale when I went to Michael's as well, because I feel like a lot of people make blankets for, like, Christmas time. 70% mark of As Good as Dead. How excited are you about Inside Out 2?
I haven't seen the first.
What?
I have not seen the first one yet.
I haven't seen the first one yet either. That's the one with like the feelings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen the first one, but I've seen like TikToks of like little clips of it, and it does look cute. But to be fair, I don't really keep up with like a lot of the newer Disney movies. It's a lot of the old ones that I watch that just completely have my heart and soul. Hello, hello. Reading Kiss Her Once for Me. Also have 2 Witcher books left to be done. Hopefully before the end of the year. You and me both, Nikki. We got this.
Another series I'm terrified of. I haven't tried.
The audiobooks are absolutely what's carried me through this series. The books are good, but like it's just really interesting how they like jump around literally everywhere. There's so many different characters, and like each book introduces a new character that's like completely random, no context of who they are, and then they like fit into the story eventually, which is interesting.
My problem is I'm also going to trigger some people. I am not a short story person, so even when I haven't finished Throne of Glass, but when I read it, I skipped the like short story one because like I just don't like them.
Yeah.
And so the first 2 Witcher books being like the short story books that people say you do need to read, I'm like, oh no, I'm going to hate them, and then I'm not going to want to continue.
Yeah, well, Sword of Destiny, yes, it's short stories, and it kind of is odd because it jumps around in the timeline of things. And it does provide context of like why Geralt and Ciri have like a connection that they do. But to be fair, even though it's short stories, it does have a lot of cohesion. It's not like Assassin's Blade, where these are all kind of just like random stories of her in the past that are like fun to read about, but you're just like, okay, great. Now we're in a completely different place, and what does this have to do with anything? It does actually follow a bit of a storyline. I would say, though, if you watch the TV show, season 1 is Sword of Destiny. If you didn't want to read Sword of Destiny, you could just watch season 1 and then start with Blood of Elves, I think is like the first official book.
That is good to know.
Yeah. That'll give you the context that you need. Okay, love that for you. We're gonna start actually, yeah, it's 10 o'clock. We will start our next sprint. I think this one will do 30 minutes instead of 35, if that's okay with everybody. Oh my gosh, stop going down by seconds. Sorry, I'm just fixing our clock. Let me try to get through a couple more comments. I can't stand Kristoff's writing style, so I'm not going to be reading any of his books. Oh my god, can't relate. I don't get the riddle. Am I Farah? I'm Farah too, because I don't understand.
Every single time that I read fantasy romance, I think I'm going to fail because, like, if I was in this position, I don't understand riddles ever. So, like, you're dying. Don't count on me.
97% of Crown of Gilded Bones and The Cliffhanger you need to read. I actually haven't read any books from JLA.
Oh.
Literally 0. I don't know why.
From Blood and Ash, but like I stopped reading it as the series went on because
that's what I've heard.
Falls off, but like I do love the first one so much.
Okay. I've never really been pulled to her books, but from what I've heard, people who love From Blood and Ash are like, there's one book in particular, and I don't remember the name of it, where everyone was like, I hate where this story went. And that was just like a really big turnoff for me.
Yeah, I haven't really continued because I just think that they really go downhill, and I no longer trust her to like bring it back either.
Yeah.
So, I probably won't pick up anything else from her, but, like, I do love the first. The first and the second, I think, are really good in my opinion.
Is it worth it to just read those 2, though?
I think so. I think so. I think you'll probably end up reading the third because you'll want more answers, but then after you read the third, you'll be like, nah."
Done with this?
But I do think, like, the first as a fantasy romance, like, lover, it is, like, so iconic and incredible.
Okay. Alright. I have interesting thoughts about the romantasy section on the Goodreads Choice Awards. The fact that JLA was 3 of the romantasy spots, I was like,
I know a lot of people hate it, and I was just like, "You go, girl." Like, the fact that you're that popular, like,
yeah.
amazing, incredible, chef's kiss, and I know, like, so many people hated it, but then I was also happy that Carissa had 2. So I was like,
Yes.
I feel like I can't love it for someone and not love it for the other, so you both get my love.
I was very biased. I was like, "Yes, Carissa!" And then I was like, "JLA, why do you need 3?"
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's interesting. Maybe I will end up reading the first couple books because I want to know her writing. I know that she's so popular, like obviously for a reason, but I'm like, I was always just discouraged because I'm like, if I know that the series goes downhill, like, what's the point?
The first one is just so good. So
Okay. All right, we are gonna jump into our last sprint. We'll do 30 minutes. Happy reading, everybody. Welcome back. How did everyone do?
I did actually read. I'm on page 84. I'm really liking this.
Good. All right. Maybe I'll move it up on my want to read list.
I like that the love interests already know each other. I feel like that doesn't happen very often. Even though it is like rivals to lovers, they do know each other already.
Yeah, that's interesting. I read Seven Faceless Saints has kind of a setup like that. They were like childhood friends to enemies, and that was really interesting.
These they're like the queen's like army, so like they grew up training together, but they've like always had like a hate/rivalry because they were like competing for spots in the army.
Stunning. Are there sparring scenes?
So far, we've had one sparring scene only, but like it was great.
That's like one of my new favorite. Like after reading that in Fourth Wing, I'm like, okay, I need training scenes together. They're such a vibe. I love.
Maybe you should read From Blood and Ash.
Are there training scenes in that?
A few, just like a couple.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, T. Hi, I know you sent this before we did that last sprint. Just waking up, hoping to get some reading done before Friendsgiving tonight. That's so cute. Haven't read a book that fast. Like I have Iron Flame, the anxiety is real.
It is.
Last 100 pages of Kingdom of Ash. Oh my gosh, that sounds stressful. 49 pages. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for joining. I love Sunday sprints. Like at first, like waking up early, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. But like the first sprint might be a sleepy sprint, but then the rest of them, like I just love it. And I love chatting with y'all.
It probably gets you in like a very productive mood, I feel like, for work too.
It actually does. It's like such a nice way to start the day and then to like go to work. It's really nice.
So kind of like sprints are fun because we're reading and like we like to read, but I feel productive in them because they're like keeping me on task.
100%. 28% through this book is going to take me all week to read. So glad we did sprints. I'm on chapter 23. So I've done well. I think I'll finish this tonight. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you have time. I love that you're going to finish it. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for joining. Switch back to my physical book. I read 44 pages. Listened to more Glassword and did some cleaning. Then needed to take a break and worked on a Christmas list for my mother-in-law. Oh my gosh, I have to work on my Christmas list too. Well, we are going to jump off here. Thank you so much for joining. It means the whole entire world. I hope that you had fun. And thank you so much to Cass for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
And we will see you next time because we're going to do sprints next week as well. And actually next week I have Sunday off, so we might do sprints for a little bit longer. Bye, everyone. Thank you.